Dear students, greetings for the day. In this session, we'll be learning about introduction to Android and Android architecture. The main agenda for this course is we'll be learning brief history about Android, its features. Then we'll go ahead with architecture of Android and the advantage and disadvantages of using this Android software. Android was first founded by the group of developers, namely Rubin was a co-founder of Danger Private Limited. Rich Miner was a co-founder of Wildfire Communication. Nick Sears was a vice president at T-Mobile, and Chris White was head of design interface development at WebTV in California, USA in 2003. Later on, this initial software was acquired by the Google. In 2005, the major industrial giants such as Google, Toshiba, Vodafone, Acer, Dell formed open handset alliances, and now at present Android is being taken care by Open Handset Alliance. Open Handset Alliance is a business alliance firm to develop the open standard for the mobile devices, which is completely devoted to advance the open source standard for the mobile devices. This alliance will develop the technology which can lower the cost of development and distribute the mobile devices and the services. This is in brief about Android and its history. So Android is an open source platform and OS that is developed for the mobile devices. It is based on the Linux kernel and will be writing the applications using the Java language, and Android provides its own virtual machine, and whatever the code that we write in Java language, the Android software will compile the Java code into the bytecode and will execute the applications using this virtual machine. What are the features of Android? It is user friendly and it is open source software. It has many features and we can customize on top of that whatever the feature that the Android provides. It enables us to reuse and replacement of many components which it provides, and it supports many things. It has Java support and it has media support. Recently, even now, it has got material design, and it has many more features such as video calling, multitasking, voice based features, camera, Bluetooth, and many more. These are the features of Android. Now let's move on to Android architecture. Android software stack is split into 4 layers. At the base it has Linux kernel followed with libraries and runtime. On the top of that we'll have application and framework layer, and finally application layer. We'll be learning each layer in detail. And this is the architecture of Android. At the base it has got Linux kernel. Second one is the libraries and the runtime. On the top of that we have application framework layer, and finally the application layer. The base is the Linux kernel. Linux kernel, it is based on Linux 2.6. The main use of this is it has many drivers, and this helps the software and hardware binding and better communication with the same. And it provides the services like power management, memory management, and security. Since Android has a very the low battery usage and the CPU is very small, and this is the main kernel, and it has many drivers which is written in C++, which helps the hardware and software binding, and it will help in better communication with the hardware and software. On the top of Linux kernel we have got native libraries, library layer, which has many native libraries which is written in C and C++, which cannot be directly accessed to the by the device, but it can be accessed to the framework layer. It has many libraries such as web libraries to support for the various web browsers, and video libraries to support the different kind of video formats, and network libraries to support network accesses, and etc. And this layer is also it has also got runtime, and it has two things. Mainly you can observe the Dalvik virtual machine and the core libraries. This is specifically designed for the Android to embed it in the environment where, because in the mobile devices where you have got a very limited battery, memory and the CPU, so it is specifically designed for the Android devices. And Dalvik Virtual Machine (DVM), it is an integral part of Android which runs the Android applications on the mobile devices. And whatever the applications that you write in Java code will be converted into bytecode, and the bytecode in turn will be converted into APK, and the mobile devices can understand the bytecode and it can interpret the APKs. It has also got the libraries, core libraries, which is written in Java, which contains many utility classes which will be using in application framework layer and application layer. So on the top of that we have got application framework layer. It has got many inbuilt APIs which will be using in the application layer, and the APIs like activity manager to maintain the activities, window manager for maintaining the window stack, content providers to access the data, notification systems. This is the API which will be using for sending and receiving the notification. Package managers, this will be using to retrieve the installed application or the application installed in the device. Telephony manager, which will be using to read the state of the incoming calls. Resource managers, which will be using to maintain the resources and that will be using in the application. Location manager, this is the API that will be using to read the location state using the GPS, and XAMPP services for network access level. And as I told, it has got many APIs that we can use in the application layer according to our business logic. Application layer is the final layer of Android architecture, where most of all the applications will be present in the application. We'll be using the APIs that is present in the framework layer, and will write the business logic, and all the applications will be installed in the application layer, like home applications, contact applications, and phone browsers, and many more. And whatever the even the third-party applications which you install, it will be in the application layer, and whatever the logic that we need, it will be accessed from the application framework layer. We'll be writing the applications using the APIs that is provided by the Android, and the applications will be installed in the application layer. What are the advantages of Android? It has got many more features since it is open source, and we can customize on the top of whatever the inbuilt features that Android already provides, which will let you know which hardware you want to choose. And it has got the huge market, and the platform, open source platform, is more mature, and whatever the Google provides its platform, all those things will be supported by Android, like Google, Gmail servers, and Dropbox, YouTube, and many more. These are the few advantages of Android. What are the disadvantages? In the sense, Android is open source and it is less control manager. In the sense, you can write an application and you can publish. The control level accessibility is very less, so which can create sometimes the malwares. And the design changes is very inconsistent. You'll get many design changes which can extremely be inconsistent with the designs. The system is very unstable, which can lead to the hang and crashes, since the OS is very limited in the battery and the CPU, and it can drain your battery soon. So these are a few disadvantages of Android. Thank you. Have a great day.